Hello fellow language learning nerds, welcome to a new video, one in which I'm gonna talk about motivation because recently I've had none. Yeah, recently for a little while now I have just had no motivation. It's like my motivation tank has completely depleted and as a result for a little while I've barely been able to study, to do any sort of reviews for my languages, and it's not even just been language learning as well, it's been for my other hobbies, like let me show you, this year I started embroidery. I don't know why, I just decided to do it. But yeah, I was in the middle of making, doing embroidery onto this little tote bag. It is very creased, oh my gosh. But like, I've got a bunch of symbols on here, right? And I want to, there you go. And I want to like embroider them all. And then I did one and a bit of this one, right? And then motivation went out and this just sat in the corner for ages and I just couldn't find the motivation, the energy, whatever, to pick it up and just do any little bit more of it. So yeah, it was low motivation for pretty much, well, it felt like everything, and it's been pants, a load of pants. I hate it. I know everyone goes through low motivation periods and high motivation periods. Even I have done that myself. Like, I've had times where I'm like, I don't want to do it. But probably this has probably been my worst low motivation. Like, having zero motivation and also its length, I think. It's probably been my worst. As for coping with such low motivation, for me it's been an almost constant reminder, like constantly trying to remind myself that it's okay. Like, there's no need to make yourself feel guilty because you haven't studied for a little while. Like, it is okay. Don't feel bad, because then that will kind of make it worse, and you don't want to be like, I feel bad so I don't study, and I don't study so that makes me feel bad. But also with the kind of reminder that it's okay for me to have low motivation, there's also the reminder to try and understand where low motivation comes from. For me, I know that recently I had a bunch of like health issues, so I know that's where the majority of my low motivation has come from. So I need to kind of be kind to myself and know that, yeah, there's kind of other stuff that's going on, so it's okay. I think that is important whenever you have low motivation, is understand where it's coming from, because there's all sorts of reasons why you could have low motivation, and therefore there's loads of solutions to it. Like, if your low motivation is because you've just recently been so exhausted, then you can't really try that technique of, oh well, just, try and change up your study practice, that will help, that will help get you motivated again. Because no, maybe you just need a nap, maybe you just need to sleep for several days, and so if you understand where your low motivation comes from, then you can kind of pick the right solutions to it. If that makes sense. Another thing that I've kind of done recently is allow, when motivation does start to come back, because it has recently for me, let it flow. Let it flow, let it take you where it wants to take you. Because sometimes, like, I have a bunch of hobbies, right? Learning Japanese is just one of them, and like, I feel like learning Japanese is my main thing. So recently I got a bit of motivation back, but it wasn't to study, it was actually to do more of my embroidery for my bag. And my first instinct was like, well, that's not the right thing, I should be doing studying. And that kind of, I could feel myself putting a stop to that, but I put a stop to me putting a stop to that and was like, no, if I do feel the motivation to do this thing instead of this thing, do that thing. Go where your motivation is flowing. And I let myself, as you could see, I did more of this. So it was kind of like I could let a little stream of motivation flow. And I did more of my embroidery, and then not long afterwards I did genuinely feel like, oh, you know what, I feel like I do want to open up my study books. I do want to do a bit of listening practice. So yeah, it's important to let it take you where it wants to take you. Don't force your motivation to do this one thing. Don't take it and force it into a different thing. I could probably use a better metaphor there. Don't put square peg round hole thing. You know what I'm chatting about. So yeah, I actually have started to feel my motivation come back, starting to bubble back up, hence why I was able to do more on my bag. I had a study session the other day, which I actually really enjoyed. And so yeah, and I also feel like I need to make sure that I don't try and dive straight in with doing something. Just because I get a little bit of motivation back doesn't mean that I need to like go, right, go full speed into studying, because then I'll just burn out what little motivation I have. So just let it, yeah, just take my time with it. It will come back. And then maybe I can start off the new year with a full tank of motivation. Yeah. It does feel a bit frustrating that like this whole end of year chunk period of time, like it's frustrating to feel like I've made no progress whatsoever, like nothing, zilch. But sometimes that happens. I just have to accept it. And you know what? During these times, I think many years ago, I think I would have like used that as a sign that I should just give up on it. But no, I'm keeping with it because this is something that I love to do, and I want to keep it because you should always keep things that you love in your life. Anyway, that's me. That's been my language learning recently. A bit poopy, but that, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else has been having low motivation in their language learning, if they're in their other stuff that they're doing, but don't worry, you'll get through it. But yeah, thank you for listening to me kind of go on about me just being like, where motivation me for a while. I do appreciate it. Yeah, how has your language learning been going at the end of this year? Are you ending on a high note? Are you ending on a note? Kind of looking forward to the new year starting to start fresh. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. I'd like to hear about how you're getting on at the moment, and yeah, let's share stories. Anyway, I will stop rambling. I'll let you go to get on with the rest of your day, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. So yeah, so for now, may your grammar be structured and your vocabulary varied. Bye! In case you were wondering, these are the symbols on my bag. They're basically, I've chosen them because like they're things that I'm into and I really like. So I've got Assassin's Creed, Star Wars, Full Metal Alchemist, Skyrim. So those are the ones that I've done, and then I'm going to do a Mass Effect symbol, the video game, Ghost of Tsushima, the video game, Hades, the video game, a lot of video games, and then Star Trek, yay! There's obviously, I've got a space here, I could do another one, and the back is blank as well, so there's plenty more symbols that I can put on here. I call it my conversation bag because you can be like, oh, is that the Star Wars bag? And I'll be like, yes, I like Star Wars. Do you want to talk about Star Wars? And so yes, conversation bag. Yeah.